call the Committee on Transportation and Infrastructure to order. Pursuant to Committee Rule 6F and House Rule 11, Clause 2, HF, the Chairman may postpone further proceedings today on any question approving any measure or matter or adopting an amendment in which a recorded vote of the yeas and nays is ordered. I'd ask unanimous consent that the Chairman be authorized to declare a recess at any time during today's meeting without objection. That is so ordered. All roster text has been distributed electronically, and paper copies are also available here in the hearing room. Today, the committee is considering two administrative items. First, the approval of an updated committee roster, and second, the approval of revised membership and leadership of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, Hazardous Materials due to changes on the minority side, which includes Representative Wilson's appointment as ranking member of the subcommittee. So I ask unanimous consent to consider these items in block. Without objection, that is so ordered. And I call up the full committee roster and subcommittee rosters, including the subcommittee leadership, for consideration. Without objection, the rosters will be considered as read. I recognize myself now for a statement. I'd like to take a moment and recognize the unfortunate need for today's markup in the first place, which is the passing of our friend and colleague, Representative Donald Payne. Congressman Payne was a valued member and leader of our committee, and he was a strong advocate for his constituents, which came through loud and clear in his district. And he will certainly be missed here on transportation and infrastructure. My thoughts and prayers are with his family, his friends, his staff, and the people of his district as they obviously go through a difficult time. As Mr. Payne served as ranking member of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials, today we are also approving Representative Frederica Wilson from Florida as the new ranking member. And as part of the revisions of the subcommittee roster. So Representative Wilson, I'd like to congratulate you on your selection as a Democrat leader of the subcommittee, and note that we've still got lots of work to do in this Congress, including the advancement of the pipeline safety reauthorization level. And as you know, we passed that bipartisan legislation out of committee in December, and we now have to work with the Energy and Commerce Committee to join up the two pieces of legislation of that reauthorization. So I look forward to working with you as we continue the important efforts this Congress. I'm going to say one more thing too. Representative Payne was a joy to work with on issues like that, and just kind of an easy to get along with individual. But with that, I yield back and recognize Mr. Larson.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last month, we were all shocked and saddened to receive the news that our colleague Don Payne Jr. had passed away. He was a valued member of the committee for many years, serving both as chair and ranking member of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials. Don helped advance key legislation, including the bipartisan infrastructure law, and just as Congress helped pass the Pipes Act of 2023 through committee. He was a strong advocate for rail workers and a proponent of rail safety legislation. So I too want to offer my condolences to his family, his wife Beatrice, and their three children, Donald III, Jack, and Yvonne. Don is my friend, and I will miss him. May he rest in peace. And today's markup has been called in order to ratify the revised committee roster in light of Don's passing. So, Mr. Chair, pursuant to Democratic Caucus Rule 29, the next most senior member of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials, Representative Frederica Wilson of Florida, will serve as the ranking member of the subcommittee for the remainder of this Congress. Rep. Wilson has been a member of the T&I Committee since the 115th Congress, and she has worked to improve rail safety, particularly safety at rail crossings. Representative Wilson is also an advocate for increasing access to transportation for people with disabilities. I want to thank Representative Wilson for taking on this role for the rest of this Congress, and I look forward to working with her. With that, Mr. Chair, thank you, and I yield back.
Does anyone else wish to be heard? See no one? I'd ask unanimous consent for the approval of an updated committee roster and approval of the revised membership and leadership of the Subcommittee on Railroads, Pipelines, and Hazardous Materials due to changes on the minority side en bloc. Without objection, that is so ordered, and the revised rosters and leadership changes have been approved. Pursuant to Rule 6 of the Rules of the Committee on Transportation Infrastructure, the chairman notes the presence of a quorum for actions taken on all committee business today, and without objection, that is so ordered. I'd ask unanimous consent that the staff be authorized to make all necessary technical, clarifying, conforming changes to each item adopted today to reflect the actions of the committee. Without objection, that is so ordered. We have completed our business for the day, and the committee stands adjourned.